Velkommen alle sammen. When I speak about the Norse myths, whenever I'm saying things like these are symbolic and aren't real events that we actually believed happened, and that the gods and deities are all representative of something else in nature or the universe, I always refer to the experts. It's not, these aren't my ideas, guys. And who are the experts, you might ask? Well, here's a list. As you can see, it's quite a lot. All of them. Anyone looking into Norse myths or the history, all of them have theories about what the gods actually represent in nature or the universe or whatever. And this is pretty much every scholar on the subject in the past 200 years, really. They believe something. Here's the problem. The problem is that all of these people on this list, they're taking 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 deities or gods, and they're trying to interpret them and give their idea of what they represent. The problem is that nobody is really organizing them all together systematically. No one is looking at all of the myths and really attempting to uncover what every single thing and event and deity means. So this is the problem. There are 3 people, however, who are doing this for the most part, and that is Kvilhaugs, Varg Vikernes, and Vegard Solheim. All Norwegians, by the way. That's how awesome we are. So first we have Kvilhaugs. She has a master's degree, and she is doing a really good job at, you know, the comparative analysis of these mythologies. She's not just knowledgeable in Old Norse myths, but she's knowledgeable in myths from all over the world, all kinds of pagan primitive cultures. So that's her. She's absolutely one of my favorites. Then we have Varg Vikernes. Most of you know him. Some of you may love him, some of you may hate him. He doesn't even have any formal education, actually. But a lot of people ignore him and his theories for that. But let me tell you what, he was in jail for, 20 years? And I promise you he has read more about the myths than anyone else in the world, I'm sure. I definitely don't agree with a lot of the things he says, but at least for the myths, he is very, very intelligent, and even if you don't like him, it's very valuable to at least look at his ideas about what the myths are, because he is trying to systematically organize it, of what they symbolize. Then the third one is Vegard Solheim. He is so knowledgeable about the traditions, the pagan traditions in pagan times, and ones that have continued on to more modern times. And he relates the gods and what they represent to, you know, different seasons and different parts of the years and holidays. And again, this is all great work, super valuable. So I'll put links to all 3 of their books. They have lots of books, all of them, but I'll put maybe links to my top ones in the description below. So those are about it, guys. Those are the only 3. I don't know of any more, you know, people in the world today that are actually organizing and trying to interpret and discover the hidden meaning behind each deity in the myths. Like I said, here's a whole list. Every university scholar, PhD, historian, archaeologist, they all have some ideas and theories about what the gods represent. And it kind of annoys me sometimes when they do this, because they'll take Ymir, or they'll take Bergelmir, or they'll take the Norns, or they'll take the dwarves, and they'll say that idea, and they'll take just one thing like that, and they'll say, oh, this represents this in history. But then they'll ignore any other possibilities of, especially the gods and the main gods, really. They say, oh, no, Thor is just a god. People back then were stupid. They believed in a giant guy with a hammer. So this is the problem. How do you say that one thing in the myths, or 2 or 3 or 5 things in the myths, are representative of something else, but you're not open to the fact that everything in the myths is open to someone else? It's so stupid. It's like me going up the street here and going to my favorite Mexican restaurant and only going there, and oh, there's a bunch of other Mexican restaurants on the street, but those aren't real. Those are just fake. Those aren't real restaurants. So we really, you know, look in the fact it doesn't matter who your favorite books are by the by the experts or what kind of PhD they have. Everyone has an idea of a couple of the deities and events and the myths and what they really represent in nature or the universe. So we just have to be open to the fact that everything is representative. And like I said, there are all these theories, and I've read, I've spent way too much money. I've got books from all of these people here, but I'll go over. I try to cover everybody's opinion when I'm covering a deity subject, and that's about it. No one has the right answer. Nobody is the guru on these things. Nobody knows the full answer. All we have are theories, and we have to decide ourselves. And you guys need to decide yourselves what makes the most sense. And this is what paganism is about. It's the quest for the truth. It's, you know, the quest of discovering how the world works and how our myths relate to that. And that's all paganism has ever been in the history of humankind, no matter where you are in the world. So that's all I'll say for this video. Vi ses nästa gång.